Hi up, how are you? I've had a busy week, me. I have, no. I did a video last week, you see, a bit of a playful one based on my viewing statistics, and I've had a very busy week because my phone has never stopped beeping. Somebody's left a comment on your video, and we don't think it should be approved, so I've been having to go through my held box, you know. Piggy bastard, blue and white piggy, cunt. Piggy fuck, never watch one of your videos. But you've left your comment underneath one of my videos. Anyway, so busy like that, and I've been trying to enjoy myself and enjoy the weather. You know, we've had some hot weather, you've got to make most of that when it comes. And I've been trying to watch the cricket where I can, mainly listening to it though on TMS, because I do love something about radio, this, you know, which probably sounds daft from someone who does a video channel, but I love people who can paint a picture with the words, you know, and create it almost like another world. So been listening to cricket, that's been really good. And what I've been trying to do, I don't know about you, is avoid all news of Sheffield Wednesday, because it's all so thoroughly depressing. And more news today, how I like that, you know, I thought I'd better have a look, so I just like, shoot, you know. Yeah, more news, another embargo, that's 3, unbelievable, isn't it? 1 embargo, 2 embargo, 3 embargo, 4. Is it a record? Is that a championship record? Is it a record for any club? Unbelievable. What's the latest one? A 52.2.3, which is a failure to pay transfer fees. I've got to be honest, that one caught me a little bit off guard, because other than Ugbo, when did we last pay any money for anybody? I mean, how far back are these debts stretching where we haven't been paying these transfer fees? Now listen, I'm not a mug. I know, you know, when you sign a player, you don't go, yeah, here's 3 million notes. You know, I know it's like, well, have $1 million now. You have $500,000 if we go up. Have another $500,000 when he's played 50 games, whatever it is. But I'm trying to think about players we've paid cash for. Ugbo, then who? Play a nominal fee for Kabaski. What? How far back are we going? For Mayo? I mean, what did he cost? 50 grand? But what instalments on that? 10 quid a week? I don't know. Unbelievable. So 3 embargoes now. And you've got to say, it looks like it's heading to that stage, doesn't it? You know, the points deduction now. And I'll mention United for my hundreds of thousands of United followers. United got a points deduction of the year. Now, I haven't understood it. That was also for a failure to pay some transfer fees or monies owing to other clubs. And that was, what, 6 points reduced to 2, was it? And Sheffield Wednesday with their list of failures: failure to pay transfer fees, failure to pay staff, failure to pay the players, on and on and on, failure to pay the taxman, the PAYE, although, you know, obviously you're going to fail to pay that if you're not paying your staff. I can only see a massive points deduction coming. It'll be double figures, I'm absolutely sure of that. I won't be surprised if it were 12-15. I really won't. So there's that on top of it. What else other news have we had this week? Well, some players have been back at training. Barry Bannon back at training, even though his contract's officially up. A couple of the players having to train at Woodburn Road. Some of the players at the Jubilee, because the training ground's not ready for football-related training. And like I said, some players having to train over at Woodburn Road. With a professional second-tier football club with an average gate of over 20,000, and our players are training at a Sunday League standard. It's unbelievable. Another bit of news today, obviously we know the manager's not coming back, and he's obviously been talking with the club about trying to work a manageable way out of it that suits both parties, which I just can't see happening, to be honest with you. And we've also lost another member of staff today, the goalkeeping coach, Selby. Well, he's gone up to Rangers to work with Russell Martin. How long's he been here? About 2 or 3 years? I was lucky enough actually the other year to go and see a training session in Ellsbury, and he was warming keepers up with a little drill, and I'm not kidding.
he got one of the hardest shots I've ever seen. He took a warm-up shot and nearly put Cameron Dawson in it back at net. Unbelievable. So anyway, he's gone off up to Rangers. I mean, obviously a huge club up there in Scotland, and they've the possibility of European football, and they pay the staff. That's the other one. Always a bonus, isn't it? Apparently, the other news, apparently 6 players have put in their notice to leave. Now I understand one of them's Josh Windass. I don't think there was probably any secret with that one, because he did put that photo in the week with him, with a picture of the exit sign in the background. I suspect one's Bernard. Obviously he put something on Twitter the other week which was liked by Orfa, and if you might remember, there was all that, not spat, but he was then unfollowed by Achanseri, so I suspect he probably wants out. But a promising young player. He's come from Manchester United. He's come to a good-sized championship club, and probably thought this is a chance to really kick on and get my career going after being, sort of released by a giant. I think you're not getting paid. And he's a quality young defender, him. So he'll be wanting to get off somewhere with a proper structure, somewhere with, and I know it's a dirty word around these parts, somewhere with a plan. So I suspect he's one. Got young Pierce Charles, promising young keeper. He's coming in, and then the keeping coach who's helped bring him through, he's gone, and it's all such a goddamn mess. I've just seen a tweet actually about half an hour ago from a lad called Josh Rutherford, who was one of our foundation phase coaches. He's also left Wednesday today. It is like the Titanic, isn't it? Wednesday is like the Titanic, and as I said, I'm convinced there's a points deduction coming. I'm sure it'll be between 12 and 15 as a starting point. We've signed some players in the week, and that caught me off guard. I'd seen that. I went, fucking signed players? Who have we got? Well, we've signed some under 21s. I think one's come from Liverpool, promising young fullback. Usually you think, oh good, getting some kids to bolster academy side, and we can develop them like we did with young Deli Bashiru and like we've done with Charles. And the problem is they're coming in, these young kids, and you're looking at it and thinking, they're probably going to be first team, aren't they? They're probably going to be in the first team this coming season. And I go back to Bolton the other year when they had all their shit. I'm saying the other year, it's probably 10 years ago. My time scale's also cock. And they were playing kids, and it were cricket scores, weren't it? It were cricket scores, and unfortunately, got these young lads on our books, and I think they're going to be playing. Now, when you're young, you're desperate to play. Any shortcut to the first team, let's take that. Desperate to get out there on park, playing in front of a big crowd. It's everybody's dream, isn't it? But once you start getting dicked by teams full of men, it very quickly loses its allure then. And that's what I fear. On top of that, a big deduction. Like I said, I think it will be double figures deduction. Losing games. I mean, how long is it going to take you to claw back just to get to 0 points? And with a team of young kids and freebies and whatever, there's a nightmare season in prospect. And I hate the thought, of young lads coming in, making their way in the game, and that should be a nurturing environment. Excuse me, frogging throat. That should be a nurturing environment, for young kids to come in and be learning the trade. And you learn as much from having bad times in football, but you're not going to learn from having 100% bad times, and that's all I can see on this road ahead. And then my mind starts drifting, and I start thinking about next season, and I start thinking it's going to be vital, that if we are playing a lot of young kids, we've got this points deduction, and we are getting battered. And more than ever, that will be the time when we really need to get behind them. We'll need to get behind them young lads in that team, probably more than any time in our history, because they'll really need us. And then I start thinking to myself, why am I worrying about games? Why am I worried about, we could get Ahmed here, we'll get Ahmed there, and we've got to try and keep it tight, maybe get nick goals and a little bit of confidence. And I'm thinking about actual games. at the minute, there's no evidence the club's going to start the season, and I genuinely mean that. You know, there's the failed takeover bids, there's the young Kadamatri's being sold. Well, that's another thing, isn't it? Kadamatri's just got I think he's got the medical, that's the final stage of this process of him moving to Man City. But then the EFL, apparently they're looking at that and saying, well, that money, we might have to have an hand in what happens with that, because it's not going into your black hole, mate. First things first, that's going to have to pay your staff and this sort of, which is good. But I think the authorities are having to get in touch and decide where your transfer money goes, because the inept running of the club means that there's a very real danger that if you were left in our own devices, or the devices of one man, then it just gets spaffed somewhere else. That just sums up what an absolute shit show the entire thing is. So yeah, thoroughly depressing. I saw another rumour today, I don't know if you've seen that. Oh, Consortium on cards, another buyer on cards. Not fucking bothered. And I mean that, I'm not bothered. I'm sick of hearing about consortiums and bids, and 2 years ago somebody made a bid and Chancery said he wanted £300 million, like some megalomaniac out of a Bond film, you know. I'm sick of hearing about it. The only time I now want to hear about Consortium, and I 100% mean this, is when someone stood there in centre circle having a press opportunity with a scarf and it says, new owners of Sheffield Wednesday. Until then, I'm not fucking bothered. I'm sick of hearing, oh, it might be a bid, it's dealing with him, oh, it's been knocked back, he won't talk, they're doing this. Just fucking shut up. Get in a room and fucking sort it out. And don't tell me out about it until it's sorted. And if it ain't sorted, just slide off and fuck off. I'm really bored of it, because you know what it does? It ignites that small bit of hope in a fan's heart. And I've seen it today, I've seen it with that. Oh God, people are excited for 10 minutes. Fucking hell, this is it, we could be saved. Oh no, we're not. We're not. And there's no low that is greater than when you've had a little high before it. Just come back when it's done. It's a bit like signing a play, you know, transfer rumours, oh, we're after this kid and that's like that, and I've always been the same. Until there's a press shot with him in a shirt, welcome to Hillsborough above his head, knob off, not bothered. I know this hasn't been a very good video, it's not been very well planned, has it? Not been very well executed. I mean, I've never written a script anyway, but I've never really got any proper notes for this one. Because it's all so frustrating. And every day is bad news. Like I said, for 2 days, I hadn't even looked at it. I thought, no. I'm just going to enjoy the cricket for what it is. Because this farce that drags on and on and on. I mean, Pato's out of contract. When you're in a shit show like we're going to be, he's exactly the sort of player you need. Exactly the sort of player you need. He's not going to sign on when he's got a young family. But when you've got kids in the team, you need old heads like him. You need people like that who lead by example on park for them young lads, you know. And you need leaders off the pitch as well, you know. And we gather that, you know, players like Palmer and Bannon have sort of not deferred the wages, but have said to the club, look, make sure other staff get paid first. Let's get them sorted out. The people who are in there every day making things tick, you know. That's proper leadership. And maybe somebody upstairs could take a bit of a lesson from lads like that. Community team. The community team. One of the most important areas of any club. Now their wages going from 2 separate pots. The community projects team and the club. Well, they haven't been paid by the club either. The entire thing's a complete disaster. Yeah, like I said, consortiums, buyouts, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Is there a way you can put keywords in your phone so it blocks out any news article or any news with certain words in it, like consortium or bid? Had enough of it. All I want to see is him out and somebody else stood there with a scarf promising to invest in club, or at the very minimum get it just running on a basic level. I mean, nobody's asking much. Nobody's saying, oh, we want someone to come in and we want Champions League in 3 years. We want somebody to come in and chuck 400 fucking billion at it. All we're saying is we want somebody to come in, be able to pay wages, spend a couple of £1 million on transfers every summer, have a business plan where we're turning young players over at a profit and making it sustainable, and having a challenging top 10 every year, and being there or thereabout. It's not too much to ask. For a club with gates over 20,000 every week, turning up in that, ground that's falling to bits, I forgot all about that. Three-sided ground next season, is that on cards? Fuck it, three-sided ground. Let's start playing at Allen. Fuck it. What else have I missed? Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope it's cheered you up. Sell your house. Fucking you sell your house, you cunt.